Hey everybody, and welcome to the daily card reading from Thoth for Thursday, the 8th of January 2026. So as with these, like, comment, share, follow, subscribe, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Randy Morningstar 747 on TikTok, Randy Mintaka 93 on YouTube, The Mintaka Experience on Facebook. I will be going live on TikTok on Randy Morningstar 747 at 1 p.m. Mountain. So that would be 12 p.m. Pacific and 3 p.m. Eastern. I'd love to see you there. So this is for the collective. We have the Knight of Wands for Thursday. So what this means is there's going to be some arrogance, there's going to be some brash behavior, there's going to be a lot of short fuses and short temperaments based on lack of impulse due to high rise in sexual energies. Due to unmet desires, unmet wants, unmet standards that may not be spoken outward, or may have been spoken outward that have just been met with opposition. This includes boundaries being set. This includes people's perception on boundaries. This also means you need to analyze your behavior, and if it's childish or toxic or naive, you need to mature yourself. You need to learn to take responsibility. You need to learn to be held accountable. You need to learn to take accountability. You need to learn to take constructive criticism, because it does seem like some people are taking the words to heart and twisting the narrative to fit their logic. For example, if you say it was stupid that this happened, and then they think that you're calling them stupid because you called the action they did stupid, that's a perception bias that needs to be worked on their end. It is not your fault that they perceived your words wrong, because at that point, if you're critiquing the action and not the person, and they're taking it as a critique of themselves, if the shoe fits, wear it. So it's one of those things where their projection and their deflection tactics are going to be shining out, especially when they appear to others weaker or they feel vulnerable. It feels like there's a lot of dispositions you're making about others based on how you appear to them or based on how they appear to you. It looks like there's a lot of personality traits and personality characteristics within the day that might set people's moods, like hot button topics, like religion, politics, certain words being used, certain phrases being used. Like, it seems like there's a hair trigger being on Thursday, considering the fact that there's a lot of horse-headed mentality, stubbornness, high reservations, being on a high horse with a high ego and a huge chip on the shoulder. Even if you knock the chip off the shoulder, they're still on their high horse. White knighting things and claiming to be a black knight of certain ideologies and ideas is a very dangerous concept. So make sure you know what titles you're possessing and know what the titles that you're using mean before diving into that. Renaissance fairs and Comic-Cons are very fruitful for the next 14 weeks. And some traumas that have been happening since 2014 may be popping up again. Between 1 a.m. and 4 p.m., a lot of passing the torch is going to happen. A lot of leadership responsibilities are going to be passed down. A lot of blame is going to be shifted throughout the ranks because they'll be damned if they're the only ones going down. If I'm going down, you're going down with me. If I can't be happy, neither can you. If I can't get stress relief, neither can you. If I get angry, then you're going to have to deal with me being angry. But if you get angry that way, I'm not going to deal with it. So one-sided hypocrisy, double standards, pulling out the rug from underneath them due to their ego giving them the support they need to feed their confirmation biases. The year of the horse sticks out to anybody born in the year of the horse. It is a year of the horse now, but like anybody born within the year of the horse. So like 1978, 1990, 2025, 2003, I think it is. 2002, 2003-ish. I could be wrong on the 2002 to 2003 timeline, but I know 1978, 1990, and 2026 are all dates within the horse time frame. Especially the fire horse. The fire horse is this year. So this is most affecting the fire horses. Fire elementals and fire magic and anthropomorphic beings that disguise themselves as bovine. So not just horses, but any type of bovine creature or farm animal. may come to you in a dream or in metaphysical practices or in a meditation, to help you with your creativity when you become angry, help you give outlets to de-stress from sexual arousal that may or may not be fulfilled, learning about new strategic ways to be cunning and brave about things. Home life and early childhood education are very important, and are going to be the most affected. So your home life is going to be affected on Thursday, as well as your early childhood wounds. So if you have like DID or anything that has happened to you in the childhood realm, it may be acting up. You may be forced to like switch roles, or you might have a lot of intense anger to pull someone out within your DID system. So like rage, breath, agitation, cortisol changes, cynicism stick out. Be reliable, be trustworthy, be dependable. Focus less on the details and more about the bigger picture. Worry less about what others call your actions and fix the actions themselves. If you don't believe that you're doing anything wrong, then just keep doing what you're doing. Because it does look like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink, especially if they believe it's toxic. However, there's a lot of passive aggression, a lot of sarcasm, a lot of mockery and ridicule going on under the guise of, I'm just being a brat. So just be aware of how you come across to others. Be aware of anybody doing that. If you don't have that dynamic with someone for them to be a brat, then that's just a cop-out excuse. So just be aware of that. So the lesson here is work on your impulse control, because you're going to become arrogant and reckless, and work on your patience, because if you act too fast, you're going to ruin everything. But if you become so cautious that you are on the verge of paranoid, you might want to get your paranoia under control as well. It looks like there's going to be some form of taming going on, or bucking going on, or fights going on due to lack of impulse control, or a destructive rage habit. So if someone gets into a rage mode, they black out, they don't remember what happened. They are still responsible for the damage they did when blacked out. Do not allow them to get away with it just because they don't remember, just because they claim that it was someone else within their body. It's their body, their decisions, their control. Whether they have control or not on the situation is irrelevant. If the body does it, then the body's in accountability mode. So hold yourself accountable, make yourself accountability partners if you have DID, or even if you don't. Get your anger managed. Go to anger management classes, do DBT training, do meditations, play your video games that don't get you overly stressed. Do whatever it is that's going to help you manifest bigger, brighter things and bigger, brighter desires, rather than focusing on horse blinders and narrow-minded visions. Take off the horse blinders and stop using the perception of, if it's not my way, it's the highway mentality. It looks like there's a lot of Aries energy going on, so leadership abilities, leadership skills are going to be put into action. Control tactics may be used, manipulation may be used, rage, anger, agitation, action-oriented activities may be affected, or they may act out due to activities being done around them, or due to lack of activity. Browns stick out, reds stick out, and blacks stick out. Let's see. So what that means is you need to find a solid practical solution for things. You're going to need to be more reliable and be able to depend on people. Work on your dependability, your reliability, your cynicism, and your narcissistic traits and tendencies. Also, don't be afraid to speak up about anything that may need some self-improvement, or may heal your inner child, and allow yourself to feel. Sour jars and or sour attitudes make for sour days, and sour days are why you're not wanting to do much, but you're putting yourself there. So you can't blame other people because you chose your actions and then blame them for your actions that you chose. That's what I'm getting, though, for the 8th of January 2026. So as with these, though, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Thanks for joining. And I hope to see you at my live at 1 p.m. today.